Hey, let me show you something. Come on. Come on. Here, have a look at this. Right here. All right, welcome back. Episode 119 of Chaotically Intolerant. Curtis Brown is back. This is a big day. This is a massive. This is a we up type of day.
Oh yeah.
I think we're putting the word out that the Texans are officially back up.
I mean, I'm not going to say that because we still lost to the Panthers for some reason. But I'm going to say things are definitely looking up. We'll see.
Good team, but good teams need a kick in the ass every once in a while.
That's true.
So losing to the Panthers is your kick in the ass that you needed.
I hope. We've got some cupcakes coming up, so I'm hoping that that's exactly what that was.
Yeah.
We don't just shit the bed.
Yeah. This was an interesting day of football. We're gonna go through everything. If anybody's worried about that, first make sure to like, subscribe, the whole deal. All that stuff. Go check out Curtis's show on the Curtis Podcast Network on YouTube as well. Go subscribe to him. They also have the 1,000 subscriber goal. And go follow him on all the social media stuff. Twitter. Is it just Twitter?
Yeah, it's pretty much just Twitter. I've got a Facebook, but,
and Facebook. Go if you're over 35, go over to Facebook. Just 40, over 40 maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, whatever that age is. Go to Facebook too. All right, but the Thursday night game, where some of these games are gonna be really quick because there is not a lot to say. The Thursday night game, woof. The standalone games this week are horrendous. Eddie Pinheiro, I'm sure he told Frank Reich, I can't make this kick. And Frank was like, you're going to do it anyways. We're just going to send you out there.
Give it a whirl, kid.
Yeah, give it a whirl. That's it. We actually recorded the AFC South show right before the game, and I told you there is nothing to miss here. So if we record a little bit into the game, that's not a problem. We can record right at the start of the game, and there's still nothing to miss. And I was right.
Yeah.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, no, not at all. The only narrative going into that game that was worth looking into is if Bagent is any sort of relevant at all.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Well, and the first pick.
Oh yeah, and the first pick.
The Bears were actually playing for the first pick. They couldn't lose at that point in that game. There was no way they lose.
It's true. I didn't even think about that. Damn.
Yeah.
But they're mad at the Texans.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys even have to come on?
Well, yeah, there's nothing else. There's literally nothing else to talk about with this game. Let's go to another game that there's nothing else to talk about. The second standalone game of the week. Just a stinker, disgusting, ugly game, and it's from my own team. The Colts walk out of Germany with a win over Bill Belichick. I mean, I think Bill Belichick was hungover. He looked hungover all day on the sideline. He just looked like a sad little boy over there.
He did.
At the end of the game, when Bailey Zappi does the fake, he tries to do the Dan Marino thing. He thought he was Dan Marino, but he's not. Bill literally puts his hands on his head as if his job was officially lost, as if he was going to be fired.
Yeah.
I really hope the Pats don't do that. I hope they have some respect for him and just say, we'll let you finish the season. The season is done anyways. At least get us Caleb Williams as your parting gift. And then we'll see you later. You can go coach the Commanders or whoever else is out there.
Yeah.
But this game was horrible. Minshew was just, man, he missed about 3 or 4 wide open touchdowns today, I would say. Just guys. Alec Pierce was down the sideline, would have scored on the first play of the game. Just horrendous. The run game wasn't good. Just nothing happened. Nobody missed anything in this game.
No, I mean, I woke up for the day like probably a quarter and a half into the game. I'm sitting down to eat some breakfast, probably a few minutes later, and literally nothing has happened. I've seen Gardner Minshew throw some balls. They punt. I've seen Mac Jones do the same thing. What was it, 3-0 at halftime or something?
Sounds about right. No,
Yeah.
we did score a touchdown in the first half. I think it was
7-3.
Oh, it was 7-3. I do have the scoreboard right here on ESPN. It was 7-3.
Okay.
My math, my intelligence is low. It's a
No.
long day of football watching.
It is,
This is
especially when your first two samples of football were just stagnant water.
Yeah. I always think it's actually physically more demanding to watch football from 9:30 until midnight rather than than play the football game. It is so much more physically demanding to do that. You got to sit there. I'm always sending out. We're switching to Threads actually because it's just so small. We're starting to build on Threads, which is nice because Twitter is just too big at this point to take over. And I'm just sending Threads out. I'm cooking on Threads. It's exhausting. It is. I feel like I played 3 football games today.
Damn, that's a lot of exhaustion right there.
Yeah, it's horrible. But I push through. I push through for the people. We all push through for the people.
We do.
Yeah.
I unfortunately did not have to suffer that pain. I had to suffer the pain of the games being on and not being able to sit down and watch at all.
Yeah, that's another pain that hopefully I'll never know.
Yeah, it's a different like chamber of the heart that's hurt on that one. It's different. But I mean, I got to watch most of that game. Bill Belichick just looked pissed like the whole game.
Yeah.
Now usually he has the emotionless face where it's like you don't know what he's thinking, you don't know how he's feeling. Maybe he's hungry, maybe he's got a shit. You don't know. But today you could look at him and he was visibly angry.
He looked very soggy today, I would say.
He did.
Very soggy.
Yeah. There was just maybe the Frankfurt air just doesn't flatter him or something. I don't know. But Bill walked into that stadium and probably knew that they were not going to be able to get that win no matter what. He's like, I have Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense did a lot better than I thought they would, but you're right. Minshew missed a lot of throws, and that game should, by all rights, have been a blowout. And there's just a lot of missed opportunities that the Colts have kind of had their season plagued by.
Yeah, I would say this is the problem with the Colts is obviously when their offense shows up, the defense doesn't show up. And when the defense shows up, guess what doesn't? The offense. I mean, it's just it's that's what it's been all year, which is frustrating. I would like for just one game where they just show up somewhat and they play a full game of football. Just one full game of football. Give me 60 minutes.
Complimentary football. Just a little bit. I haven't seen it. I have not seen but maybe like 3 teams all year, college and NFL, play complimentary football from whistle to whistle.
There is one team we'll talk about later, and it has to do with the AFC South, but we're not going to talk about that yet. They did that today.
Yes.
They did that today. Congrats to them. I think the international games are the most un-American thing the NFL has ever done for the entire world, making us get up at 9:30 on a Sunday morning when I did the math. Believe it or not, Americans can do math.
Simple math.
The time in Germany at the time we started was 3:30. Why can't we just move that to 7:30, make it a night game, and boom, we have a 1:00 game in Germany, in the States. Yeah. What is so hard about that? Why? And the same thing with London. Why can't we do that?
Well, see, it's even more difficult if you're on the West Coast because
it's 6 a.m., 6:30.
Yeah, you gotta wake up at 6 a.m. to watch football. Holy crap. And then you got like 4 hours until you got to go to church or, work or something.
I mean, the NFL knows that I'm gonna bitch and complain about the international games, but I'm still gonna watch. I'm still gonna do it. I'm not gonna do anything about it.
No.
But I will not go quietly into that good night.
I'm gonna sit on my couch, very groggy, just woken up, sipping some coffee, and just kind of zoning out, looking at the football. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be angry on social media as well. I'm gonna make sure they know. But they're gonna know I'm still watching. They don't care. Roger doesn't care.
No. He just got paid. His contract was extended. He's good.
And I also think I have a new conspiracy theory that the NFL is just putting industry plants in Germany and in these international games because they're all just wearing football jerseys. They don't care what team it is. They're wearing Packers jerseys. They're wearing teams that literally have nothing to do with the existence of the Patriots and Colts. This is insane. This is definitely industry plant bullshit for the NFL to try and get a full division over in Europe.
I mean, yes, I could see that. I could see that, but I could also see where, some guy in Germany happens to be a Chiefs fan. He's never been able to see NFL football in person, and it's just like, I'm going.
That's too reasonable. Don't be reasonable. Don't ruin it with reasonability.
I know. Sorry, chaotically intolerant. I'm sorry.
This is what we are. This is what we bring to the table. If you don't like it, you can leave. The listener can leave. But this is what we bring to the table. And now we'll go to a game that everyone should have watched, that everyone wanted to watch. Texans Bengals. The Texans come out on top, 30-27 in a crazy game. CJ Stroud throws for over 350 yards, a touchdown, and what I thought would have been a back-breaking interception. But the Texans pull off the big upset, one of the bigger upsets of the season, I would say. Well, I'm going to let you cook. This is your thing.
Well, in the blog you asked me to help write on, you asked me if there was any dramatic games or something to that effect. Well, now we have one. This was a game that on my show, and Alex was there as well. You need to check that out. I basically gave the Texans a snowball's chance in hell because there were 23 players on the injury report, and that does not sound like a winning formula. No matter what team you are, what sport you're doing, if just under half your roster finds their way to the injury report, you know what I mean?
You might lose the game.
You might lose the game. You know what I mean? And I think the saving grace this season has been CJ Stroud being well better than we ever anticipated he would be as a rookie. We're watching history happen every time he touches the field. 2 back-to-back comebacks in short succession. Like he had,
just like Kim Kardashian.
Gross. 46 seconds to go down and get the game-winning touchdown against the Buccaneers last week. He had, I think, 93 seconds to get the Texans into field goal range with one timeout, I think. I mean, this is when people talk about having the clutch gene, that's that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It comes out in the moments where you need the biggest plays. And even though they came out there with, minus their number one wide receiver, minus several key defensive contributors, the secondary did damn well most of the game. I think at the first possession the Bengals had in the third quarter, maybe just before halftime, the Bengals only had like 93 yards of total offense. And I was like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, they had a 75-yard drive for a touchdown
in the first half.
And then you're talking about the Bengals, correct?
Correct.
Their first drive was a 75-yard touchdown. It looked beautiful. It really looked like, oh man, they're going to kick the shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
And then they went 26 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards, end of half, negative 12 yards. And then they started to get back into it. They got a field goal, 43 yards.
Yeah. Okay. Well, even still, maybe the 93 number I imagined, which is possible. When your drive chart looks like that, and you're playing Joe Burrow, or you're playing a Patrick Mahomes, you're playing one of these teams with all of the firepower in the world, that's pretty solid, and you're going to take that any day of the week. Yeah. So hats off to the defense for showing up, showing out. On my show, we ridiculed Shaq Griffin, and we're not going to change that here. He got an interception right before C.J. Stroud threw his presumed back-breaking interception late in the fourth.
Yeah. Do you want me to go over the situation that they were in?
Hit me.
Real quick. So you're up 27-17, right? 3rd and 2. Obviously, you're trying to close out the game. There's about 3:52 or 3:41 left in the fourth quarter. So you're just trying to close it out. You're trying to get the clock moving, trying to get those timeouts away from Cincinnati. You run the ball 2 times in a row, gets to 3rd and 2. What do you think you should do?
Run the ball.
Normally, you would run the ball, right? No. The Houston Texans decide, hey, you know what? We're going to try and throw this little out route, like a rollout out route for C.J. Stroud. Stroud throws a horrendous pass, horrible decision on his part, all on him. And he was the guy that got him there, but it was all on him. Gets picked off, almost returned for a touchdown, but it gets returned to the 4-yard line. The Bengals then punch it in for the touchdown, bring them within 3. They force the punt, and then the Bengals actually have the ball at the Houston 13. Joe Burrow throws a presumed easy touchdown pass to Tyler Boyd. It would have almost iced the game, or it would have made it a 4-point game, so a lot difficult, but we know what C.J. Stroud can do. Tyler Boyd just fucking drops it. Like, he literally wide open touchdown in the end zone right here, just drops it. And then they kick it, tie it up, and then we know what happens after that. But the play calling of passing and then C.J. Stroud almost lost this game.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think the thought process there is you get the first down, the game's over. Mm-hmm. And you still have that same thought process if you're running the ball, and even if you don't get it, the clock's still rolling. So,
well, here's another one.
Bonehead.
Here's another one on the very next drive when Houston punted. 3rd and 3, 2:26. You're up 3. You're trying to run the clock down again. Cincinnati, I think they were already calling timeout, so I think they only had 1 timeout to go by 3rd down. Instead of just running it, saying, if I don't get it, the clock's going to run down. We're going to run it to the 2-minute warning, and then we'll punt it back to them. They decide, we're going to throw the ball deep, not even a short pass.
Yep.
We're going to throw it deep. The ball gets knocked away, like it probably would have. That was expected. And the clock stops at 2:10, so the Bengals actually do get to run one more play before the 2-minute warning. Bad. Yeah.
Bobby Slowick has been having issues all season of making the correct call in certain situations. It's his first year as an offensive coordinator. I cut him a little bit of slack from time to time, just knowing that he's still getting over the fact that he doesn't have CMC or Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk. But those are the decisions that cost us games earlier in the year, and they just didn't bite us quite as hard this week. But back to Shaq Griffin.
Oh, yeah. Our enemy.
So I ripped into this man. We all did. It was like a team effort. He has 5 tackles this week and an interception that is thrown right to him. He's not even covering anyone. He's just dropping in probably a cover 3, maybe even a cover 4, depending on. I didn't get to see exactly the whole field. I just saw him dropping back. So he's still shit. Like realistically, you throw anybody out there, if as long as they know what the play call is, they're gonna be in the right spot. I'm sorry. Like, They're going to be in the right
Is
spot.
Shaq Griffin actually bad for the Texans offense? Because CJ Stroud almost immediately threw an interception after his interception. Is he bad for CJ Stroud's psyche when he plays well?
Well, I'm going to have to get a larger sample size of him playing well but it's a good theory. I'll work with it for now. Cause I mean, that's the first instance. If it could repeat itself, then we have something cooking here, but
yeah,
I think there's a link.
I also met his mom. So
Who?
Shaq Griffin's mom. Yeah.
You met his mom?
Yeah. When we went to the Colts Jaguars game in 2021, we were on the way back. We stopped at a Buc-ee's. His mom saw I was wearing a Colts shirt, and she said, "Yeah, my son plays." And I was like, "Who's your son?" And she was like, "Oh, well, Shaquille Griffin." I was like, "No fucking way." She was a very nice lady.
Nice.
And obviously the brother is also, Shaquem. I think it's Shaquem Griffin.
Shaquem and Shaquille.
So, very nice lady. Seemed like very nice people. As a ball player, he's clearly affecting CJ Stroud with his great play.
I think that's safe to say. I think that's very safe to say. Derek Stingley came back off IR this week, first game in a while. He let up that early 32-yard touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. I remember just kind of seeing his body kind of falling while dude was running into the end zone. So
kind of the family guy fall where
they're
laying on the ground, hand
all contorted and oddly. Yeah, he was just kind of falling when I saw the highlight. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the Texans played very well. I didn't have a lot of faith in Matt Amendola, the replacement kicker for Kaimi Fairbairn, but he did well. He showed up in the clutchest moment of the game and a couple times before that and was able to get the Texans the dub. And as the replacement kicker, God bless. I mean, you can't ask for a better sense of security that must give. D'Amico Ryans and everybody else, they're like, all right, he's cool. He's got ice in his veins. We're good.
Yeah.
You're gonna get all the field goal opportunities in the world now. So just
pretty much until he misses one, then he's
relegated back to being a human.
Yeah. All right, we can talk that game all day, but we got to move on to my favorite game of the day. Josh Dobbs versus Jameis Winston. Derek Carr goes down, and the Vikings end up pulling out a win, although Jameis Winston tried his best to come back. But he did Jameis Winston things, which is what I want when Jameis Winston comes in. He threw up a hilarious interception, just so funny. He got hit, and the ball just got propelled when he got hit, and it just went even further. But the Vikings are good. I'm saying it right now. I don't care. It's been 2 games. Josh Dobbs, maybe the new Tom Brady, the bald Tom Brady. And the Vikings quietly, they're 6-1 in their last 7.
Oh, really?
Yep. They started 0-3.
Damn.
They are 6-1 in their last 7, 2-0 with Josh Dobbs. And without Justin Jefferson, I think they're like 4-0.
Yeah.
Who needs him? Trade him to the Colts.
Trade him to the Colts.
We'll trade you Zach Moss. He's perfect. He led the league in yards for a while.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Josh Dobbs is somebody needs to study this man. He's studied very hard for everything, and he's got a photographic memory. Dude the longer he's with a team, the better he plays, the more comfortable he is. He can learn anything in a matter of minutes. I would love to see him and Sean McVay get in a room because allegedly Sean McVay is the same way.
That get weird.
Oh,
it might be censored
telepathically.
It would get weird. They might have to censor it from YouTube. If we showed that on here, the video would get taken down.
Yeah, probably.
That's how weird it would get.
That'd be kind of an interesting thing. What if after the season, Josh Dobbs gets signed by the Rams and ends up as the starter.
I don't know
And
if the Vikings will let him go.
I mean, especially if he just keeps winning. But
Kirko is also a free agent at the end of the year. This
yeah,
might be literally the perfect time for them to say, "Okay, Kirk, we love you. You go get another $35 million contract for 1 year, and we'll sign Dobbs
yeah,
to 10 mil."
I bet they'd pay him more than that.
They'll pay him as little as possible.
I mean, he started. I mean, yes, absolutely, they'll pay him as little as possible. But he started what, like every game this year? So we're in week 10. Did he even have a bye week because of the trade?
Well, if they're 6-4, so they still have a bye week coming up.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't. That'd have been weird. He's like, I guess I just don't get one this week, this year. Um, look, this Vikings team is still a threat. They've got a lot of weapons. As long as Josh Dobbs is healthy and able, this man will be able to deliver the ball wherever it needs to go to whoever's open at any given moment. I have no doubt in my mind that they're definitely the front runner. I guess it's between them and the Lions, front runners for the NFC North.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Let's move to Steelers Packers. This game was close, but I would never want to watch this because the Steelers again have been outgained, and they're 6-3 in games they've been outgained. And guess what their full record is? 6-3. They've been outgained in every single game that they've played this year. But they're finding ways to win. I hate Jalen Warren because I have Najee Harris. But Najee was good today, but I would have
been great.
Get all the carries.
Yeah. Feed one guy.
Jordan Love, not the guy officially. He drove them down the field. It was 4th or I don't know. They were on like the 20-yard line, and he throws it into the end zone and gets intercepted. But the ball was actually just short of the goal line where it was caught at. I mean, he was basically aiming right for the goal line, which is crazy to me. I don't understand why quarterbacks are not throwing it way past the line to gain. Yeah. It's happened a lot. But here we are. The Packers lose again. They're 3-6, and the Steelers are 6-3. There's not much I really take away from this game about either.
If I'm not mistaken, Aaron Rodgers' first year as a full starter, they went 5-11. So it's still going to take a little bit of time. You still got to the game experience cannot be replicated anywhere else. But he did a lot of digesting and learning off the field. So now, hopefully, you assume Jordan Love can take steps in the offseason because they did sign him to an extension almost immediately. But yeah, no, the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, they're literally. I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin could sell sand to people who live in the desert. Like, it wouldn't even be a problem.
Sand to people who live to me. He could sell sand to me right now. Yeah. I guarantee you I would buy some sand from him.
He would have me hype enough to like run on like hot coals. Like, I don't know what it is that he says to people or brings out of people. But damn it, if the Steelers team right now is not the most clutch team when it comes down to these clutch moments, they just never seem to be out of a game. And they end up finding ways to win, and hats off to them. Damn.
Yeah. All right. Bucks Titans. Will Levis, not the guy. I also want to talk about a stat that I was told on this AFC South show. I was told that the Titans have not scored over 20 points in a game
30
since 30. That's much different. Over 30. Because I was looking, I was like, there's one this year. I was like,
yeah,
what are they talking about? 30. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But the Bucks take care of business at home. The Titans are just so bad, it's hilarious. I love watching it. They're just not good. They're not a good football team. Baker, really, he can sling it. He loves slinging it. I think Will Levis was trying to sling it, but he just couldn't quite get it out of the slingshot, I think.
Most of the time, I mean, he was under pressure constantly.
Yeah.
That Titans offensive line was a turnstile at every position, and Vita Vea had 2 straight weeks of eating alive AFC South running backs. And it continues next week with the Colts.
Not next week.
That's their 2 weeks from now?
Bye next week. Colts have a bye next week.
Oh, yeah, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. I don't know if it's going to continue. Let's pause it. We have a preview show. We have a preview show in a couple weeks about that. So let's just let's not make assumptions that we don't want out there.
All I'm saying is the man is huge and he eats.
He is massive
for breakfast.
He does. He does.
So if you guys got, I mean, maybe Big Q can just keep that man in check, but whatever. Could continue.
Anyway, I mean, we had French fries out there today. If we can distract him with French fries,
maybe he'll just get hungry and want to leave.
Yeah, he's always eating running backs. He might get sick and tired of eating running backs. He wants to eat some French fries. I'll let him eat French fries. It's fine.
Oh yeah, eat them all day.
You can eat them all day. One of them is like a backup, anyways. So I'd rather have Ryan Kelly, anyways. But just we'll throw him in there as like an extra treat. All right, Niners, Jags, hilarious, so funny, makes me laugh. The Jags are not real. First off, they play in the AFC South. I think everyone forgot that the Jaguars do play in the AFC South. 49ers 34, Jaguars 3. The 49ers are back, and anybody who said that they weren't good is a moron and stupid. I didn't say that. I was way on the Niner train. I was fucking chugging, ready to go. I knew Brock Purdy was the guy. 3 touchdowns, 296. McCaffrey 18 for 95, and Kittle 3 for 116 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
this was just the Niners were up so big that at the end of the game, they were running plays exclusively to Christian McCaffrey so he could keep his touchdown streak. They went for it on 4th and goal from the 5-yard line, so Christian McCaffrey could possibly get his touchdown, and he didn't get it. But that's how sad. This was a sad Glitter Kitty game.
Yeah, it was. The Glitter Kitties were, in fact, tamed. The Shanahan tribe showed up from San Francisco and just put a beat down on the Jacksonville Jaguars that has probably not been seen in a while. And I'm pretty sure Jaguars fans thought that kind of stuff wasn't going to happen anymore. The trauma never goes away. Okay. We talked about it earlier with Bengals fans. The Jags fans, I feel like most of them are the same way. That's why most of the time, since I've been alive and active on chats, most Jags fans are silent until something crazy happens. There's really not a lot to say about this game. Lawrence looked bad.
He made a lot of stupid turnovers. Like I said, that's his flaw. That's his main flaw, are really stupid turnovers.
Yeah.
Just a lot of them. That's what he did. That's all he did today.
Yeah.
The Texans might fuck around and win the South.
I mean, I don't know. It might be able to back into it somehow if the Jags keep playing like that, but they've got some stuff to figure out. That's for sure. God bless.
When you beat the Bengals, and the Jags lose like that, this really puts those thoughts in your head.
Yeah,
Texans might just fuck around and win the South, win the division.
Yeah,
maybe win a playoff game depending on who they play. I'm not getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, it's only week 10. Yeah.
Let's pump the brakes. This is reasonable. We're talking reasonable here. Another game that just was ridiculous. I don't understand what happened here. Browns-Ravens. The Browns actually beat the Ravens, who I didn't believe in the Ravens that much. I knew they were a good team. I didn't think they were the best in the NFL because they weren't. The Chiefs and the Eagles are 1-2 always. Maybe the Niners now. They maybe have flipped me again. I don't know. But those 3 teams are the top 3.
Yeah.
The Ravens, I mean, Lamar Jackson sold. He sold this game. And somehow the Browns just kind of find ways to win. They had 2 defensive touchdowns this game. So their offense actually kind of sucked. Their offense scored 17. Wait, no. 18 points? 19 points.
Yeah. Well, that's been the problem with the Browns all year is their offense has been shit and their defense has been carrying them. Mm-hmm. The 27-3 victory they had early in the season against the Titans was all defense. Yeah. Deshaun Watson did not look he has not looked good since leaving the 713 area code. So I don't know what they're doing to him up there, or maybe they just cut off all the massage parlors or something, but I don't know. Maybe that's what
there's no way to relieve stress. How is he going to feel? How is he going to perform if he's so stressed out?
We just solved all your problems, Cleveland. You're welcome.
Just somebody just give him a hand. Give him a hand. All right, give him a hand. He actually, his day wasn't horrendous. I think it was more, if you actually watch it, you know how bad he was. The shot, he went 20 for 34, 213, touchdown and a pick, took 4 sacks. Not a fantastic day by any means. I mean, Lamar wasn't much better. He was 13 for 23, 223, 1 touchdown and 2 picks. But the rushing was the big, when you're looking at the stats, the rushing was the big thing. Cleveland ran for 178. They averaged 4.9 yards a carry. Baltimore didn't run it as much. They didn't run as many plays in general because they were too busy turning the ball over. They did recover 1 fumble though, so that's good. But still, I'm not really sold on the Steelers or the Browns. These are not teams that succeed in the playoffs. And I think the Browns, especially, when you're giving your quarterback that much money, you got to expect a playoff win, at least. The Colts, I say, I don't care if we make the playoffs this year or not. I'm completely, it's down the drain. I kind of hope we get the higher draft pick, but it would be cool to make the playoffs. The Browns should be expecting to make the playoffs at this point, especially with this defense, because their defense is a fucking problem. Myles Garrett had 2 sacks in a row this week. Like 2 plays in a row, he just went and got the quarterback. And a quarterback that is super hard to take down too. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really sold on them. The Steelers, I give them more leeway just because, I don't know, they're younger. I think they're much younger right now. Just those core pieces are younger. Yeah. But the Browns just they find their ways to win. I don't think divisional matchups are a real good barometer.
Yeah, because you'll very often get a team that usually plays terrible brands of football showing out against a division opponent, mostly because you're just ultra familiar with them. Yeah. That's why, to me, there's not necessarily an asterisk beside it, but the Jags-Texans game from earlier this year where Houston put up, however many points, 37 on them. It's not necessarily an asterisk, but it's a division game.
You always have to mention it. I think when you look at those, you always got to say, well, this is a division game because you guys see each other so much.
Right.
It's much
for it. Harder than anything else.
Yeah. Kyler Murray's back, and they win. Mm-hmm. Cardinals 25, Falcons 23.
Was that were the Falcons home or away?
They were away. I don't care that the NFC South is that bad. I think the Falcons need to pack up and go home. Yeah. I mean, you lose that game against the Vikings when their backup quarterback goes down, and then you got to bring in Dobbs, who didn't even know the playbook. His wide receivers had to tell him, I'm running this route. He didn't even know what's going on. And then he looked horrible to start, and then he turned it on and won that game. And then now you play a Cardinal team who has been horrible. Obviously, they do have Kyler Murray, who made an impact. He wasn't awesome, but it was his first game. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This is a game you got to win. You can't lose this game. And now, what is there for the Cardinals? What's the point? What is their purpose anymore?
Just to be bad. Like that's their purpose.
Very simple.
Season's a wash. They lost too many games because it was just Dobbs and then scrubs. I mean, like Rondale Moore's not a scrub. Marquise Hollywood Brown's not a scrub, but like their offensive line scrubs. And anyway, not the point. Their purpose was long gone by the time Kyler Murray came back. I was actually surprised that they activated him. Like,
yeah, I thought they were just going to let him sit there.
Yeah, just let him sit. There's literally no reason to throw him out there other than to see if he's still got it, I guess. But
you want to get your money's worth, I guess.
Well, yeah, but usually when you're on IR, the contract takes a hit. So you don't get paid your full amount on IR unless it's in your contract that you do. But most of the time you get like it's like 20% of your base salary or whatever. Unless I think Tom Brady actually had a contract once where he worked it out to where if he got put on IR, he got like a $25 million signing bonus or something. Yeah. So I mean, like it never happened, and obviously they never had to pay that to him. But that's how Tom Brady would be like that. That's my insurance.
Yeah. That's also like, hey, I took so many pay cuts for you guys.
Yeah,
you guys owe me this.
Yeah, if I get hurt because you guys didn't do anything with that damn money, you're gonna pay me the money. It's genius, but yeah. I don't think Kyler not watching film is gonna be that forward thinking. So,
all right, Lions Chargers, great, fantastic game to watch. Just fireworks everywhere. A lot of great games and a lot of bad games this week. The past couple weeks have been like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess is nice because you get the good games and you just don't pay attention to the bad ones.
You got to take the good with the bad,
Yeah. Jared Goff goes 333 for 2 touchdowns. Montgomery breaks out after being on the shelf for a while. 12 carries, 116, and a touchdown. I just knew the Chargers were going to charger because that's what they do.
Yes.
You knew they were going to lose. Going into the game, you knew, they're going to find a way to lose this game. No matter what happens, they will find a way. And they did.
Yeah. They did everything in their power to maintain the Chargers going to charger. And they left that building doing exactly that. The Lions have now beaten the 2 biggest threats, in my opinion, in the AFC West. So
yeah.
The Lions are not the Lions of old. This is a different Lions team. Dan Campbell's got these dudes motivated. So watch out. It's again, we talked about the Vikings earlier. It's them and the Vikings for the NFC North. I could see either one of them winning at least a playoff game.
At the very least. There was, in the first half, there were 4 straight drives between the 2 that were touchdowns. And then at the end of the game, it went, touchdown. So at the beginning of the half, the Lions punted, and then it went touchdown, 10-play touchdown drive, 7-play touchdown drive, 16-play touchdown drive, 7-play touchdown drive, 7-play touchdown drive, and then a 9-play field goal game winner for the Lions. If you hate points, this wasn't for you. If you hate fun football, this game wasn't for you. Just turn the TV off.
Fun football.
If
you're
fun?
A defensive guy, this was not the game for you. Because I was literally about to say, it was like, there's no ounce of defense. Like
it didn't exist. It was just all Swiss cheese.
16-play drive for a touchdown. As a defense, you're just sitting there like, all right.
It's got to end at some point, right?
Like when are we going to stop these dudes? We got to do something. And the Brandon Staley is supposed to be a defensive coordinator, like a defensive guy, and he is doing the exact opposite of that. I think he's going to end up being a black mark on the first however many years of Justin Herbert. But whoever they bring in next,
his seed isn't even hot. Like it's glowing. When you have the stove on, the coil stove, it's like if you put it on high, that's what he's sitting on. There's no cushion on that seat either. He's just sitting on the coil right now.
Oh
and
yeah.
he's just feeling his ass bubble.
And he's just like, "You guys smell hamburger?" Like,
Yeah.
what?
You guys smell that? What's going on over here?
Yeah.
The Chargers are also 4-5 right now, which is, I mean, how do you not fire them at this point? Like 4-5 with this football team here. You put together, I feel like their defense and their offense is filled with playmakers and just great players, but it's something about either Staley or the Charger uniform that just failure. It exudes failure.
Yeah. And they've changed that uniform up a lot.
I love how I like what they're doing now.
Yeah,
Pretty good now.
but just not the coaching staff.
Yeah.
No.
Here's a real stinker. This is the game for some reason when the Lions Chargers game ended, or the Falcons Cardinals. Apparently, they decided to put this game on instead of another game. Cowboys Giants. This was the game that they decided to put on. 49.
This was considered
17.
America's game of the week.
I don't understand how, because they also had Troy Aikman. Aikman?
Yeah.
Or no, they had Romo. They had Romo on the Lions Chargers game.
Yeah.
That's the number one crew, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah.
So right. I don't know how it's America's game of the week. I don't know why anyone would pick it. The Giants are literally the worst team I've ever seen ever. Dak showing out. I'm gonna give Dak his props. He's fantastic this year. I mean, he can't win the big game, but he's great. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good regular season quarterback. He's the quintessential Dan Marino of our era. But the Giants, if they are in any other primetime games, please flex them. Get them out.
And the Jets. What are we doing?
God, I'm so tired of watching the Jets. They're the Broncos of last season.
I don't want to have to see MetLife Stadium on my screen ever again. MetLife Stadium I think it is the worst looking stadium to put on TV ever. And none of the games ever look good or even are good at MetLife. Yep. Except for maybe the Chiefs-Jets one. But that's because it was the Chiefs. It wasn't because it was the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's partially the reason, because and the Jets are like awkwardly still winning games.
They like kind of find a way, you know. It's like, just stop. Like that's what I keep telling them. Just stop trying.
It's like a slightly watered down Steelers. You know what I mean? And it's just flavorless.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a dog chasing a car. You know,
like why? What are you doing?
He gets really close a lot of the times. The cars are driving past. He's like right there. They're passing him, and he's like, he almost bites one. And it's like, come on, come inside. Like, stop doing it. Just come inside. There's no reason.
Yeah. It's a lot bigger than you, and it's not going to stop.
Yeah. Carson Wentz. I don't understand why they avoided Carson Wentz.
The same reason the Colts were just like.
But is it better than, I feel like at the time, I was still a Carson Wentz guy. But at the time, Matt Ryan, reasonable choice. Very level-headed choice. He's the adult in the room.
Right.
Zach Wilson is Carson Wentz at times. Why not go with the higher ceiling Carson Wentz than the lower ceiling Carson Wentz?
That's too reasonable for the Jets.
I'm tired of America's love affair with the Jets.
There's no love affair.
It's sickening to me.
The only love affair that exists with the Jets is the media.
Yeah, I'm tired of that love affair.
Well, it's literally just because there's so many people in that area that team gets that much coverage.
Every time Zach Wilson plays
Rams and the Chargers.
Every time Wilson plays mediocre football, it's, oh, he's back. He's the guy. Like it's immediate. They love him. They treat him like Patrick Mahomes when he is. I mean, his ceiling is like, well, I mean, it's not even Kirk Cousins, because we know what Kirk Cousins' ceiling is. It's fantastic.
He's like Rex Grossman.
Yeah, he's New York Rex Grossman.
Yes.
That's it.
You're just hoping he doesn't turn the ball over a lot and gets the offense down the field so that you can run the ball in the end zone. Yeah. That's Rex Grossman and Zach Wilson.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
We cover a little bit of Jets. We're going to do a little bit of a coverage of what's going on right now. But let's go to Commanders Seahawks. Another fantastic game. This was the last game going on, so I was just praying that the Seahawks would miss the field goal at the end because I just want
Same.
extra football.
Same.
Extra football is fun. It's free. It's free football that we get to have that we normally don't have.
Yep.
And because it's a late game, it goes into that weird kind of 45-minute period between the Sunday game and the end of the late games. We would get that free period. Just it's there. It's there for us. But the Seahawks, for some reason, wanted to win this game. I don't know why they would want to do that. Who would want to win a football game in regulation?
Assholes. That's who want to do that.
They want to take away the free football from us.
I was explaining this to a coworker earlier. I have no reason for this statement, but for whatever reason, I just want the Commanders to win. Like in most situations, I've been rooting for the Commanders this season.
I like Howell.
I don't even have I don't have anybody on that team other than like Scary Terry that I'm like, yeah, they're good. You know, like I like this guy. Their defense is solid, but like there's just, I don't know if it's a combination of the colors or the history or something. I just look at that team and I'm like, yeah, let's get them a dub today.
Yeah. Let's just go out and win one.
I don't know why. I'm not like that with any other team in any other level of this sport or any other sport. It's just kind of like I wouldn't even say I like them. It's just kind of like when you're out somewhere and you notice somebody doing something good, like, oh, that guy's picking up some trash. You're not going to go help him, but you're going to be
rooting for him, though.
Yeah, you're like, this guy's doing something.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was that asked me why Ron Rivera still has a job, but the Commanders are not a shitty team. Like, they're not great. I wouldn't call them good most weeks, but they've been competitive in almost every game. They took the Eagles to the wire
both times.
Yeah, both times. So I mean, there's some things going on in Washington, and if Bill Belichick ends up there, then we'll see how that goes. But shit.
Let me say something about Robert Saleh right now. I'm looking at him with his beard. It's too dark. I know he's using the Just for Men. First off, I need him bald. Fully bald.
Yeah.
I need him shiny on the face and on the head.
Yeah.
I can't have the beard. It's not right. Doesn't work. Although I know a lot of women would probably like him. He's a very, very handsome man.
Yeah.
Especially for like women his age. They love that style of man. Just the bald, probably pretty gritty, muscular guy.
Yeah.
I can't do the beard. It has to go. It's chicken shit, is what it is.
It's like when Aaron Rodgers tried to grow his hair out a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was chicken shit.
Yeah, it looked awful. It was like, my guy.
He tried to be Brady when Brady grew the hair out with Randy Moss. Because I remember I grew my hair out as a kid once, and I was playing flag football for the Patriots, the Patriots, and I had my hair long. And then for some reason, on playoff day, I decided, you know what? I want to get rid of it all. I want to shave my head. So I shaved my head, and I was probably 8 or 9, because I was like, oh, it's cool. I get to use the razor. And I was like, well, this does not work for me. But I'm going to go and play this game. And my coach did not recognize who I was. And we did not win a playoff game that day. So I forever think that was my fault that I shaved my head, because we would have had Tom Brady's energy ready to go.
Yeah, maybe.
The hair was literally down to like here. It was straight because I was young. Because like a lot of young kids just don't know how to take care of their hair properly. Now I get curly, but it was like down to here, just straight. It was Tom Brady to a T.
Yep. Oh man, the long-haired Tom Brady years. Somewhere my mom is remembering this fondly.
Oh boy. Well, let's keep talking about this Jets team right now. We'll talk a little bit about them. They're
The
playing the
Jets, baby.
Raiders. I'm gonna give my take on this. The Jets are currently playing the Raiders right now. The score is currently 9-6.
Oh, Jesus.
Aiden O'Connell is currently the leader in passing with 123 passing yards.
How much
Zach
time is left
Wilson,
in the first half?
the first half is officially over.
Okay.
Wow. Zach Wilson has 2 carries for 40 yards, and Devontae Adams is a leading receiver with 6 receptions for 86 yards.
How's Brees Hall doing? I'm playing playing a guy right now in fantasy who's got him. I just need him to shit the bed.
Let's see here. Brees Hall, 11 for 27.
I'll take that.
No receiving. And that's my take on the Jets game. That's that is my take.
That is every Jets game, with the exception of Jets games where Brees Hall just is like, oh, look, a 75-yard touchdown run. And that's their offense for the day. Like, the offense is like, all right, we can go home now, right?
Yeah. Aiden O'Connell looks too young.
Yeah, he looks like a baby.
And the mustache has got to go. I feel like the mustache actually makes him look younger. He looks like when the Little Rascals got on each other's shoulders to go get a loan to rebuild their clubhouse.
Yeah.
And they had a mustache on. That's kind of what Aiden O'Connell looks like. I almost said anal O'Connell. That would be a disaster if I said anal O'Connell.
Yes, it would.
I hope Antonio Pierce has the Raiders happy. I hope Antonio Pierce is happy. He seems like a fun guy.
Do you remember watching him play?
No.
He was do you remember the Giants when they Eli was still in his first 4 or 5 years? They had Tiki Barber still.
Was that their first Super Bowl? Yes, it was.
Yeah, 2007-ish. Antonio Pierce was the middle linebacker on that team. He was never quite on the same level as an Urlacher or Ray Lewis, but he was it was Urlacher, Ray Lewis, London Fletcher, and then Antonio Pierce.
He's almost like 2021 Darius Leonard, maybe 2020 Darius Leonard.
Yeah,
because Leonard was won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then slowly things started to kind of downturn a little bit. In 21, he was still good, but he wasn't elite.
And that's probably his name up to Shaq, and everything's been to shit since.
I know he's got to go back. Can he go back, please? My God. I know that's what he likes to be called, and I love Darius Leonard. He seems like a great person, just awesome guy. Or Shaq, sorry. Shaq Leonard, please, you just got to go back to Darius. You won the Rookie of the Year with Darius. I think it needs to be Darius again.
Yep. Bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. And then finally, Broncos and Bills. I'm going to make a hot take. I think the Broncos are going to win this game tomorrow. I think they're going to win. And Buffalo are 7-point favorites right now, and I think they're going to find a way to win this game. And I hate the Broncos and I hate Sean Payton, but for some reason I got a feeling about
it. I don't know that. I don't have that. This is a Broncos team that let up 70 points to the Dolphins.
But that was a long time ago. This is a Broncos team that beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, but so? It's the Chiefs right now is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce playing catch, and everybody else playing drops.
And distraction.
Yeah. So if you can get Travis Kelce to not be a huge factor, you're going to beat the Chiefs.
But let me tell you this.
Sell me.
The Bills low-key kind of suck right now.
No, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Bills have looked great.
That's my statistical analysis.
And it's flawless. But
if people come here for statistical analysis, they're going to get it. And the Bills are kind of mid.
Yeah, kind of. And it's weird because it's not like they lost a lot of those pieces. It's just kind of player regression.
pretty much.
Josh Allen is just turning the ball over more than Apple Brown Betty, and it's just bad. It's like there's not a whole lot that Josh Allen has been able to do this season where it hasn't ended up like all the games they've lost have been really his fault. It's not the defense is really
Mashing all the buttons doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Can't maybe his time as a cheat code is over because he got put on the Madden cover. I don't know.
Yeah, is anybody talking about that? Josh Allen, literally, again, he is a victim. Josh Allen is a victim,
and it continues.
It's going to keep going. If I was in the NFL, because I know all about being in the NFL, I would never even talk to the Madden people. I would say, get me out of your game, make me Hingle McDingleberry as my fake player, like they do with Bill Belichick every year. It's like Masters. Some random. It's literally New England Patriots head coach. The name
New England Patriots on the playbooks, but like if you go look at the coach's name, it's Chad Masters.
Oh, Chad Masters,
and it's been that name since like 2016. It used to just
longer. Or was it just New England Patriots head coach?
Yeah, before that it was New England Patriots head coach. But now they're
I love that he just it's got to be a joke at this point where he refuses. He just like utterly is like, no, I'm not doing it now.
I just want to know the guy who works for EA and is like, hey, Bill, is this the year? Come on, man. Bill's like, shut up. Stop calling me.
We'll give you an exclusive card. Like you'll be like the rarest card we have. Be like,
no, don't talk to me. Lose my number.
Yeah. I wonder how many people create Bill Belichick as a creative coach. I'm sure plenty of people do that.
Oh yeah, I imagine exclusively Patriots fans, but yeah,
or Colts fans that want to beat up on them, or like any of the rivals.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Well, that was our analysis of Broncos Bills. Very riveting. So
now we got on Belichick, but
yeah. Well, Buffalo Bills, Belichick, people can make the connection.
That's the connection.
Let's not forget that in a few weeks, I guess we'll wrap up, but let's not forget in a few weeks, we have so much free football. So much. Thanksgiving, we have Thursday, we have Friday. I don't think we have Saturday yet. And then we have Sunday.
Yeah.
And Monday. Actually, we can, you know what? I have a website that'll tell me every single day that they're playing football.
It's called Google.
Or ESPN. No free ads, but if you don't know ESPN, come
on. Yeah. Fuck you, ESPN. Give us money.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. You know what the Friday game is, though? It really pisses me off that this is the Friday game.
I bet it's a Jets game.
Oh, you're right, my friend. And you know where that is?
In New York.
It's in East Rutherford. It isn't even in New York. It's in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And we have to watch the Dolphins absolutely just bend the Jets over. So that's horrible. Thank you, NFL, once again, for just this horrendous scheduling. We do have, which obviously I said it's free football. You may say, hey, Alex, but it's the same amount of games being played. There's no buys that week, which is awesome. That we're done with the bye, I think, at that point.
Yeah, I think week 12 was the last one. Well, no, that can't be right.
Oh, no, that's not true. They just do no buys week 12. Alex, there's no buys. How can there be free football? Because when football is on other days that is not football days, it's free football.
Football math.
This is typical football math.
It's
literally free. They're giving it to you. The NFL is like you're on your knees at their door and you're saying, please, NFL, give me more football. Please, can I have some more, sir? Please. And they give you a big spoonful of fucking Dolphins Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. on a Friday. Horrible time.
Black Friday of all things.
Black Friday. Horrible time. At least it's not prime time in East Rutherford because it looks even worse in the dark.
I wonder if they scheduled it at that time because people usually stay up on Thursday night and then go shopping early as hell Black Friday, so they
I'm
wouldn't quite be asleep yet.
I'm most likely going to be hungover Friday morning.
Mm,
So
delicious.
yeah, that's I'll be hungover Friday morning, so maybe I'll be awake by 3. It'll be perfect. It's time travel. Sleep is time travel,
That's
especially
true.
drunk sleep. I
Oh,
can
God.
time travel from 8:20 football all the way to 3 o'clock football on Friday. This is just getting crazy. This is
It's getting chaotically intolerant.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's enough chaos for one night. Thank you all for watching and listening, or wherever you're doing it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you were a Tecmo Bowl fan, you did not catch last week's game. It was ugly. It was brutal. It was not good. I'm not even going to mention the score because the Oakland Raiders, I'm not even going to call them the Los Angeles Raiders, they put up over 50 points.
God.
5 turnovers. Does not help. Jeff George. Actually, it was Jack Trudeau this week, but still. Not good, but, proud of the boys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Go follow us on all the socials. Go like and subscribe and comment on Curtis's show. You get to see me like 45 minutes every 2 days on that show. That's perfect.
Right.
And you get to see Curtis 45 minutes every 2 days on that show. So go like and subscribe and comment, do the whole thing. And we will see you next week.
Yes, sir.